At 78, Sally Struthers is finally ready to speak openly about the man who shaped one of the most iconic relationships in television history, Carroll O'Connor. For decades, viewers have remembered them as Gloria and Archie Bunker on All in the Family. But behind the scenes, their bond was far deeper and far more meaningful than most people ever knew. Sally Ann Struthers was born on July 28, 1947, in Portland, Oregon, USA. She grew up in a family that on the surface seemed stable and respected. Her father, Robert Alden Struthers, was a surgeon, and her mother, Margaret Caroline, dedicated herself to raising Sally and her sister Sue. But when Sally was around 10 years old, her father left the family. That painful separation left a lasting mark, forcing her mother to raise two daughters largely on her own. This early upheaval taught Sally resilience, and that emotional depth became one of the hallmarks of her acting for the rest of her life. Her path to stardom began in the late 1960s and early 1970s, when she started landing small but significant roles. In 1970, she appeared in the critically acclaimed drama 5 Easy Pieces opposite Jack Nicholson. Although her screen time was brief, she held her own alongside one of the biggest stars of the era, catching the attention of audiences and industry insiders alike. That same year, she showed off her comedic instincts on popular variety shows like the Smothers Brothers Comedy Hour and the Tim Conway Comedy Hour, laying the groundwork for the blend of humor and heart that would define her career. Her big break came in 1971 when she was cast as Gloria Stevick, the strong-willed daughter of Archie and Edith Bunker in All in the Family. Gloria was a character caught between the old-school values of her father and the progressive ideals of her husband, Michael Meathead Stivic. Sally brought Gloria to life with warmth, intelligence, and fiery independence. She stayed with the show until 1978, during which time it became one of the most groundbreaking and influential sitcoms in American television. Tackling issues like racism, women's rights, and generational conflict, the show changed TV forever. And Sally's performance earned widespread praise for its blend of comedy and raw emotion. In 1972, she surprised audiences by stepping into a very different role in the hit crime thriller, The Getaway, starring alongside Steve McQueen and Ally McGraw. This serious turn expanded her reputation beyond sitcoms. Then, in 1977, she delivered another powerful performance in the TV movie Intimate Strangers, playing a victim of domestic abuse, one of the first productions to tackle that issue head-on. Her work brought attention to a subject rarely addressed on television at the time. Even after All in the Family ended, Sally's connection to Gloria remained. From 1982 to 1983, she reprised the role in the spin-off Gloria, which followed her character's life as a single mother. The series lasted only 1 season, but it allowed Sally to explore Gloria's journey in a new light. Over the years, she remained a familiar presence on TV, guesting on shows like Win, Lose, or Draw, and taking on memorable roles in later years. In the early 2000s, she became beloved to a new generation as Babette Dell in Gilmore Girls, the warm, eccentric neighbor of Stars Hollow. In 2003, she played Louise Miller on Still Standing, showing how comfortably she could shift between eras and audiences. Sally also built an impressive voice acting career, from The Pebbles and Bam Bam Show and Fred Flintstone and Friends, to Disney's Tailspin, Dinosaurs, Droopy, Master Detective, and Betsy's Kindergarten Adventures. She lent her unmistakable energy to generations of children's television. Her stage career was equally vibrant. From 1994 to 1998, she delighted Broadway audiences starring in Grease at the Eugene O'Neill Theater, and later shone as the scheming Miss Hannigan in Annie, both at the fabulous Fox Theater and on national tour. In the 2000s, she became a regular at the Ogunquit Playhouse in Maine, performing in productions like Love Letters, Curtains, Cinderella, Hello, Dolly, The Drowsy Chaperone, and 9 to 5 the Musical in 2012, proving her range across comedy, drama, and musical theater. In her personal life, Sally married psychiatrist William C. Rader on December 18, 1977, in Los Angeles. Their union blended two very different worlds, hers in entertainment and his in medicine. Their daughter Samantha Rader became the center of Sally's life. She often described motherhood as her greatest joy, and she fully embraced the challenge of balancing career and family. However, after just over 5 years of marriage, the couple divorced on January 19, 1983. Sally remained a devoted single mother, focusing on raising Samantha while continuing her career on stage and screen. And then, of course, there was Carroll O'Connor, the man the world knew as Archie Bunker, and the man Sally saw up close as a mentor, friend, and father figure. At 78, I feel it's time to tell the truth, Sally said recently. Carroll wasn't Archie. He was nothing like that man. He was deeply sensitive, intelligent, and had a heart so much bigger than people realize. When she joined All in the Family in 1971, Sally was young and nervous, stepping into scripts that were heavier than anything she'd done before. Carroll noticed. Instead of intimidating her, he took her under his wing. He never made me feel small, she recalled. He told me, "You're not just playing a daughter. You're speaking for millions of young women." That gave me a sense of responsibility I'd never felt before. Off camera, Carroll was equally protective. He'd invite her to dinner, check on her well-being, and make sure she wasn't overwhelmed by sudden fame. "It's easy to forget," she said, but All in the Family became a phenomenon overnight. We were on magazine covers, in the middle of national debates, and Carroll would remind me to stay grounded. He'd say, "This is all temporary. The work is what matters." He also had a wicked sense of humor. Between intense scenes, he'd tell long Irish jokes, leaving the cast in stitches, sometimes to the frustration of Norman Lear, who was trying to keep the production on schedule. But Carroll knew that humor held the cast together, balancing out the show's heavy themes. One truth Sally emphasizes is how much Carroll respected women. While Archie Bunker delivered sexist rants, Carroll admired Jean Stapleton deeply and treated Sally as an equal, despite her youth. He valued our voices, she explained. That's why people could love Archie despite his flaws, because Carroll's humanity shone through. She grew emotional remembering Carroll's later years, especially after the devastating loss of his son Hugh in 1995. That broke his heart, she admitted, but even in his pain, he never turned bitter. He stayed compassionate, reaching out to others even while carrying his own sorrow. Today, Sally feels a duty to honor Carroll's legacy. "People will always remember Archie Bunker," she said, "but I want them to remember Carroll O'Connor, the man who believed in justice, adored his wife Nancy, treated his cast like family, and carried more wisdom in his heart than Archie ever could. She calls him the best kind of teacher, one who showed her how to be brave on screen, grounded off screen, and how to use humor and kindness as guiding forces. I owe so much of who I am, as an actress and as a woman, to Carroll," she concluded. At 78, Sally Struthers speaks with the clarity that only time can bring, reminding the world that behind one of television's most controversial characters stood a man of extraordinary warmth and humanity.